Welcome to sleep storytelling. Let your body relax, your mind unwind, and gently drift into rest. You're safe here. Let's begin. It's late afternoon when you arrive. The sky is painted in soft pastels, lavender, peach, and pale gold, melting slowly into the horizon. The salty breeze carries the distant cry of a gull, and the gentle hush of waves rolling against the rocks. You follow a narrow path, worn by wind and time, leading to the lighthouse that stands at the edge of the world. It's tall and round, painted white with faded red trim, and the glass of its lantern room catches the evening light just right, spinning slow beams out across the sea. You pull your suitcase quietly behind you. The wheels bump gently over stones and sand. The air is cool and fresh, filled with the scent of salt, lavender, and old sun-warmed wood. At the lighthouse door stands a woman wrapped in a thick woolen shawl. Her silver hair is swept up and her eyes are warm. She smiles like she's been waiting for you. "Welcome," she says softly, and opens the door. The inside is round and quiet. Light filters through windows set deep in stone. The walls are lined with shelves filled with seashells, faded photographs, and well-worn books. You walk slowly up the spiraling wooden stairs, each step creaking softly beneath your feet. The air inside smells of beeswax, old paper, and something freshly baked. Your room is near the top, small and circular, with a round bed in the center dressed in heavy wool blankets in shades of navy and cream. A round window looks out across the sea. You set your bag down with a quiet thud and feel the stillness settle around you like a second skin. The woman gives a small nod. "Rest well," she says, and disappears down the stairs. Days pass in a rhythm you quickly grow to love. You wake late, with sunlight spilling across your blankets, and eat breakfast in the quiet kitchen, thick bread with honey, warm tea, fresh berries in a little blue bowl. The rest of the day drifts by. You read by the window. You walk along the rocky shore. You breathe. At night, the sea sings you to sleep. But slowly, something changes. Your dreams begin to shift. They become long, vivid. Some nights you find yourself on a ship, sailing through silver fog. Other nights, you're sitting by candlelight, writing letters to someone who waits on shore. And sometimes you walk the lighthouse steps again, but they're older, colder. You carry a lantern and feel the presence of someone just behind you. One quiet evening, you discover a small drawer beneath your bed. Inside is a leather-bound journal, worn and cracked at the spine. You open it gently. On the first page is a name, written in careful script: Elias, Keeper of the Light, 1894. The journal is filled with entries, half poems, half dreams, about the sea, the stars, the slow weight of time, and the soft ache of longing. You turn the pages slowly, tracing the faded ink with your fingertips, and fall asleep with the book resting on your chest. Tonight, you climb into bed earlier than usual. You open the round window just a little, and the breeze slips in like a sigh. Outside, the moon hangs low over the water. The lighthouse beam sweeps across the sky, slow and golden. You lie beneath the blankets and listen. The sea murmurs, gentle and rhythmic. A gull calls out in the distance, and then falls silent. The wind brushes your cheek. The room darkens, but never truly goes dark. The turning light paints soft arcs across the walls. The wood of the old bed creaks softly as you shift, pulling the covers up closer to your chin. You close your eyes. The beam turns again. Wum, wum, wum. Each rotation slows your breath, lulls your thoughts, empties your mind. You feel yourself float, gently, between here and sleep. Your body warm, your eyelids heavy. The sea breathes beneath you. The wind hushes above you. The lighthouse watches over you. And you drift. And drift. And drift. until there is nothing left but stars, waves, and the sound of peace. Time no longer seems to pass the way it does elsewhere. You sleep deeply and wake slowly, as if the bed itself were a small boat on the sea, rocking you gently between dreams and waking. Outside the window, the sky is always changing. Sometimes pale blue with drifting clouds, sometimes misty, the sea vanishing into silver haze. On rare days, the sun lights up the waves like glass, and the spray sparkles like tiny stars. Each evening, as twilight settles, you light a small oil lamp on your bedside table. The flame dances quietly, casting golden flickers on the stone wall, mingling with the long, slow rotation of the lighthouse beam. Wum wum. The sound has become part of you now, soft, steady, like a giant heartbeat far in the distance. One night, the wind rises just a little. You pull the blanket tighter around your shoulders and open the journal again. You've read it so many times now that the entries feel like memories of your own. Elias wrote of long walks along the cliffs, watching storms build over the water, and the comfort of the light, how it felt to tend it, to know it was shining out through fog and night for ships that would never see him, but would know he was there. There's a passage you always return to. The sea is not lonely, Elias wrote, only endless. And sometimes, in its silence, it listens back. You close the journal gently and place it beside your bed. Outside, the moon is low again. The waves lap at the shore in slow, even strokes. From the top of the tower comes the low hum of the lantern turning, like an old lullaby played on wind and memory. You watch the beam move across the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, and gone. Then again. The rhythm is slower than your breath. And in that quiet space between one sweep and the next, you begin to dream again. This time, you are not alone in the dream. You walk the shore with bare feet, cool sand between your toes, the sea whispering secrets you can almost understand. The stars above shimmer in their millions, and the lighthouse glows warm behind you. There's someone just ahead, too distant to see clearly, but not a stranger. You don't need to speak. You simply walk together, in perfect silence, beneath the watching moon. And then, gently, the dream begins to dissolve, not with sound or light, but with stillness. A softness that wraps around you like the thickest blanket, comforting, weightless. You are floating again. Far from time. Far from thought. Held in a space that is nothing but breath and hush and sea. And still, the lighthouse turns. And turns. And turns. And somewhere, in the safe cocoon of your sleep, you understand something simple and quiet. That you are exactly where you are meant to be. Safe. Warm. Home. You don't know how long you've been walking the shoreline. There's no hurry. The stars above feel low and near, as if they're hanging just above the sea, humming faintly. You walk in their glow, your footsteps leaving no mark. The sand is soft and cool beneath your feet. The tide moves gently beside you, never too close, never too far. The figure beside you is still walking too. Silent. Familiar. No need for words. It feels like an old friend, a memory, or maybe, another part of you. In dreams, everything makes sense. The lighthouse beam continues to sweep out over the water. Each time it passes, it casts a long golden arc over the sea and the sand, over you and the figure beside you, as if marking your path, keeping you safe. Wum wum. It turns again. And again. And then, slowly, the beach begins to fade. Not disappear, just soften. Like morning fog over the dunes. Like pages of a book closing quietly. The figure ahead of you turns, gives a slow nod, and continues walking into the light. You stop. You close your eyes. And now you're back. In bed. In the lighthouse. The blankets are heavy over you. The pillow beneath your head is soft and warm. The wind presses gently at the windowpane like a slow breath. The ocean sings just beyond the wall. Everything is still. Whoom. The beam touches the far wall. Whoom. And glides away again. You let go of every last bit of tension now. Your shoulders melt into the mattress. Your hands are still. Your breathing deepens, slow and effortless. There is nothing left to do. Nowhere to go. Only this. Only here. This quiet tower. This peaceful sea. This circle of light. The dreams wait for you, just behind your eyes. They carry nothing but softness. A ship rocking gently on calm water. A letter floating open in the wind. The low hum of the lantern that never stops turning. And as you sink fully into sleep, into that deep, warm place beneath all thought, the last thing you feel is this. The sea listening back. The stars blinking slowly. The lighthouse watching over it all. Over you. Always turning. Always there. Always light. You're not sure when you left your bed. Perhaps you never did. But now you're standing at the top of the lighthouse, near the great turning lantern. It glows golden, slow, steady. It hums quietly, like a voice too old to need words. The room is filled with moving light and shadow. Everything breathes. You place your hand on the warm brass railing. It vibrates ever so faintly, like a distant heartbeat. Outside, the sky is full of stars, so many that they seem to pulse, as if the heavens themselves are gently inhaling and exhaling. The sea below reflects their light in trembling threads. The beam from the lantern stretches out over it all, sweeping across water, cliffs, and sky like a gentle, watchful eye. You feel it again, that strange sense that this is not the first time. That you've stood here before many times, in dreams or in some life beneath memory. You turn slowly, eyes following the beam. And there, on the floor beside the great lantern, you notice something. A small wooden box. You kneel down, careful, as if time itself is holding its breath. The box creaks softly as you lift the lid. Inside are letters. Dozens of them. Yellowed, folded, tied with a ribbon so pale it's nearly white. You untie it with trembling fingers. The top letter is addressed to you. In ink so faded it's nearly gone, you read. To the one who watches now. The sea remembers. The light was never meant only for ships. It is for the hearts that wander. And the souls that wait. Keep the light, and the light keeps you. You close the letter gently, and the wind picks up for just a moment, brushing past your cheek like a familiar hand. The lantern turns again. Whoom. And the dream turns with it. Now you're outside, standing on the cliff below the lighthouse, barefoot in the grass. The stars above stretch wider than before, brighter. The lighthouse stands tall behind you, wrapped in silver light. You hear the sea breathe, a long, low sigh that rolls in and out of the shore. You walk down a narrow path, lined with sea lavender and soft moss. You move as if you've always known the way. The breeze carries the scent of salt and stone, and somewhere, very faintly, the sweet memory of oranges. Perhaps the old woman had them in her kitchen, long ago, sliced on a blue plate. You reach a small wooden bench at the very edge of the cliff. You sit down. You look out at the vast water. And for a long time, you simply breathe. The light sweeps across your back. Whoom. The sea stretches forever. The stars blink softly. And the world, it seems, has gone perfectly still. We return to you, sitting on the bench, the sea stretching out like a great silver cloth beneath the stars. You can feel the hum of the earth here, gentle and low, like the purring of something ancient and kind. The bench is smooth with age, warm from the day's sun, and shaped to fit the curve of your back as if it had been waiting for you all along. The wind brushes past, pulling gently at your sleeves. You close your eyes and listen. The ocean speaks in slow syllables. The gulls have quieted. The only sound is the lighthouse behind you. Wum wum. The rhythm has settled inside you now, like a second pulse. Every time the beam swings past, your breath deepens. Every time the light reaches the edge of the world, something inside you loosens. You feel it again, like a presence. Not a person, exactly. Not a ghost. But a sense of being known. Of being seen. The bench creaks softly as you lean back and look up. The sky is impossibly wide. Every star seems to hold a name you almost remember. As if you've been here before, in some other life. Or many. As if you've always returned to this lighthouse at the edge of sleep when the world grew too loud, too fast. You remember the letter. The light keeps you. You understand now. It's not just a beam across the sea, it's a thread. A guide. A signal for those lost in fog, yes. But also for those adrift in thought, in feeling. Those at sea within themselves. You. Me. Anyone who has ever needed a place to stop and be still. You let yourself lie back now, not on the bench, but in the dream. The scene begins to shift again, but so slowly, so gently, you barely notice. The grass beneath you becomes a blanket. The breeze becomes breath. The stars fold into themselves like petals at dusk. And you are in bed again, but not the one you arrived in. This one is older. Softer. As if it grew out of the earth itself. The stone walls around you pulse with the warmth of stories whispered 100 years ago. The journal rests beside your pillow. The window is open just a crack. Through it, the sea sighs and the lighthouse turns. Wum. There is a faint scent of something familiar. Lavender, wood smoke, old paper, and sun on cotton sheets. You are floating. Anchored only by the rhythm of your breath. The gentle weight of blankets. The far hum of the lantern. You are not alone. You never were. The light has always been here. Waiting. You close your eyes, and as the last arc of golden light sweeps across the wall, you hear one final thought, not a voice, but a knowing. Sleep, keeper of the light. You've come home, and everything drifts away. Quietly. Softly. Completely. Until there is no more story. Only rest. Only stillness. Only sleep. Yes. Let's stay here. In this warm, endless quiet. You are sleeping, but something deeper than sleep is carrying you now. Not just rest, but release. The kind that feels like the sea itself is holding you, rocking you gently in arms as old as time. You don't wake in the usual way. You open your eyes inside a dream so soft, it feels like you're still under the covers. You are standing at the edge of the lighthouse library. Morning light spills in through curved windows, streaking the walls with pale gold. Dust dances in the air like tiny stars still falling from the night. The air smells of parchment, sea salt, and tea leaves. You walk slowly along the shelves. The wood is dark, smooth, and cool beneath your fingers. Every book here has a handwritten spine. Some are blank. Others have titles that whisper as you pass. A map of the tides, stars remembering you, dreams kept in bottles. One book calls to you gently. You reach for it. It opens on its own. Not with a sound, but a breath. As if the story inside has been waiting, patient, behind the cover. The pages flutter then settle. And you're no longer in the lighthouse at all. You're on a boat. A small wooden sailboat, quiet and steady, bobbing on calm waters. You're alone, but not lonely. There's a blanket wrapped around your shoulders and a cup of warm tea between your hands. The lighthouse is still visible on the far shore, a single golden eye blinking slowly across the morning sea. It watches over you, not to pull you back, but to remind you, you can return whenever you wish. There's no wind, no hurry. The sail flaps gently. A journal lies open on the seat beside you. The same handwriting. Elias. One page reads, I let the sea carry me once, far from clocks and noise and names, and I found that where time dissolves, the self can breathe. You close the book and lie back in the boat. The wood beneath you creaks like an old lullaby. The clouds above shift and stretch. The water below reflects them like a mirror. Somewhere far beneath, the whales sing their long, slow songs. You can't hear them, but you can feel them in your bones. You float. Hourless. Weightless. Safe. And just when your eyes begin to close again, the boat begins to drift, not away, but deeper. Into the mist. Into another layer of the dream. Softer. Quieter. The light of the lighthouse fades into the fog, and now there is only the sound of water lapping gently at the hull, and your breath, and the knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Still. Cradled. Carried. Asleep.